All right, let's do it. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast today. Listen, I think it is time for a revolution, mind power revolution. And I have the person to talk about it here today, Mr. Brent. Please tell the people who you are.
Hey, my name is Brent. I am a mind power expert. I've spent 30 years crisscrossing the world and teaching people how to unlock and unleash their mind power to be whatever they want to be. We've got so much amazing power inside us. It's like we were born with this amazing supercomputer. Nobody knows how to use the thing.
Something like that. I like that. So I was looking at your stuff. So you do a lot of events. What kind of events do you do?
Well, like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I started out as a mentalist. So I used to open for a lot of celebrities. I still do cruise ships, Vegas, I've done all that stuff. But the last 10, 15 years, I've been doing this combination. It's a weird thing. It's like I still go out and do my shows and things, but I also do seminars and teaching, trying to get this message to people. And it really is. It's like when you buy a cell phone, a microwave, a toaster, anything, they give you a huge manual that tells you how to operate it, right? You have this thing, which is the most sophisticated supercomputer ever invented. It's like you're on your own, buddy, and nobody knows how to use it. Nobody knows what it's doing to us. So it's really been my passion. This, like I said, the last 15 years, I've really tried to do both. So now I do every radio, TV show, podcast, everything I do is just to get that word out, that you have so much power inside you. You just have to find that switch to flip it on.
Think that's amazing. I love the way you put it. Yeah, our mind is the best tool we have, but yet nobody really tells us how to use it or how to start unleashing it. What is a mentalist, if you don't mind me asking, for those who don't?
Well, I started out as a magician. So I was a little, only child, chubby only child from the Midwest. And like a lot of kids, I was looking for somebody to make me different. I wanted to be a magician. But I really got into the mind when I was about 10, and I kind of combined those. A mentalist is somebody who does experiments with the mind. They combine some magic, that sort of thing. But like I said, I used my touring the world. I got paid to do it, but I also took that time to meet thought leaders and, people, religious leaders and people in power and people that understood the mind. And so I really used it like a paid, not vacation. It was like college for me.
Yeah,
I went to
'cause you love
college for
what you were
I went to college for half a semester. I hated it. I dropped out. It went on the road, but this was better than any college because it's really learning from the feet of the people that know. Everybody else, that they're always giving you an opinion or something they heard about, or when you talk to people who actually are doing it and they know what
Yeah,
they're
it makes
talking
a
about,
difference.
it's an incredible thing. Yeah.
So, okay, so somebody that's watching now, right? And they want to become better at whatever it is they want to do. What is a tip that you can give now that would work miracles for their mind to unleash their potential?
Well, the first thing I always tell people is you have to understand you're sitting there, you're watching us today, but you're programmed and you don't really know it. Because when we're kids, we're blank slates. Everything's amazing, right? When we're happy, we laugh. When we're sad, we cry. We are it's open mind. We are blank slates. Then we start to get programmed. Our parents and our teachers and our coaches and our siblings and the media and the government, that's programming. Your parents are going to teach you whatever their parents taught them, whether it was right or wrong. Their family believes in this. People with money have this. They start teaching you these things. It becomes programming. Now we're adults. It's like you've got an old rusty program inside you that you created when you were a child, because it's created until you're about 9. It's recording everything that you like, you don't like. You're creating like a false version of yourself, this ego version of yourself. And now you're an adult. And it's like, if you want to figure out how to make it to whatever it is you want in life, you have to first figure out what is going on in your mind. You've got a voice talking in your head, right? You've got a voice that's telling you you're not good enough, you're too fat, you're too stupid, you're never going to be able to do it. You've got a voice that is rusty programming. That's not you. That's not your voice. That's not the voice of God. That's literally programming that you've programmed from the past. So I teach people the very first thing you have to do, I call it the ABCs of mind power, but they're the 3 things you can do today to change your life. And like I said, I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to get anybody to hire me. My career is set. What I'm doing is telling people, you've got this amazing machine. Here's how you get a hold of it. So the A for the ABCs is awareness. And there's two meanings to it. First of all, if you think about it logically, you are the awareness. That is who you are. Because you would, if the mind was talking all the time and you didn't know it, there's two things going on. You're the soul. You're the one looking down on the mind talking. It's not you that's talking. It's programming. So you have to start to separate. Look, there's a voice talking in my head that's not me. I call it the bitchy roommate. You've got somebody locked in your head, right? They're living in there rent free, and they are completely destroying your life. Everything you tried, they say, "Oh, remember last time you tried that? Man, you're going to fall on your ass." It's always that kind of stuff. It's trying to protect you. I mean, that's what it's doing, but it's really destroying us. So you have to become aware. The awareness I'm talking about is, what is the voice saying in your head? Because 90% of the day we're on autopilot, right? So think about it. 90% of the day means you're playing some program from the past. You're either in the past wishing you could have done something. If I hadn't done this, she wouldn't have left and this wouldn't have happened. Or we're in the future worrying about something we think is going to happen. I even know people that are literally, they're going to go home tonight and have an argument with their spouse. So they're doing the argument now in their head. They're doing their part. They're doing the wife's part, right? So what you're doing is you're living your life inside your mind. You've got this giant universe out there. You're on a rock hurtling through outer space, right? What are you worried about? You're worried about the scratch on your car, what Mary thinks of your dress, serious, what somebody might have said.
I got you compared.
Where we are. So the first thing is, what is the voice saying when you're on autopilot? You know, it's like you're driving down the road and you don't have to go, I have to turn left in a half a mile, then I go down to the house and I turn. You don't do that. It's automatic. So what you're doing instead is you're thinking about all the things you got to do later, or all the bad things that happened earlier, or whatever is going on. You're not in the present moment. And so your programming is taken over. What I teach people is, you've got to figure out what the voice is saying, because I'm telling you, it's almost all BS. It's programming from when you were a child. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical, but you don't know what it's saying most of the time because it's running in the background.
Yeah, it's there.
So what you do is, it sounds crazy. I've been teaching this for a long time. You name the voice in your head. Okay. Now remember, there's two things going on. There's the voice that you can make talk. Like if you're trying to figure out something, you can say, okay, you can do like a calculation. You can make the voice talk. But then there's a voice that talks. You're driving down the highway and all of a sudden a voice says, remember the birthday party when you were 10 years old and you peed your pants and everyone laughed at you? Now, where the hell did that come from? That's the voice I'm talking about, because it just triggers, it's bad emotion. It's negative. It just pops up. Okay. So what you do is you name the voice. You name that voice. So in my case, I named it Carl a long time ago.
Carl, you got somebody.
I have no idea. It popped in my mind and I went with it immediately.
Got it.
And I'm telling you, this is a lot of the guys, Tony Robbins, they teach this. I'm telling you, I give it to you right away because it's so huge. It's when you take the power away from the voice and you realize it's not the future, it's not the voice of God, it's old programming. And then you start to realize what it's saying. So what you do is the voice starts talking. And what you do is you treat it like a child who's not getting their way. And you just go, oh, there goes Carl again. And again, all the power goes away, because what normally happens? The voice starts talking. Oh my God, remember when she did this? And what happens to us? We get sucked into it. Now we're thinking about it. We're in that moment. We're living in that, whatever that negative emotion is. This way, you go, oh, as soon as it starts talking and you realize it, you say, oh, Carl, please.
So we named this voice Carl, right. Michael, Suzanne, or my ex-girlfriend, Barbara, who left me. No, I'm going to play. We name, I got it.
You definitely don't want to do that. If you name it after somebody you don't like, what you do is the voice starts talking, you look at it like a petulant child and you laugh at it. And again, all the power starts to dissipate and you'll start to realize this is not, like I said, it's not some voice of the future. It's just programming. So you've done that. You've named the voice. You go for a day or two, you laugh at it a little bit. It starts to lose a little bit of its power. And then you get a pack of Post-it notes. Okay. You get 15, 20 Post-it notes. You write the name of the voice. So Carl, in my case, on about 20 Post-it notes, you put them everywhere you go, around the house, inside the fridge, maybe one in the closet, one in the places where you don't go all the time, as well. For a week, all you're going to do, you're going to get a pad and maybe a pen and you carry it with you. Now, anytime you see one of those notes, that is the trigger to stop. All you got to do is stop. What's on my mind right now? And you write it down. And I will tell you, if you do this, I can promise you, if you're watching this today and you're listening to the two of us, if you do this for a week, it'll change your life. Because at the end of a week, you're going to go back and you're going to read the most screwed up BS you have ever red in your life because it's not logical. It makes no sense. You weren't mature. You were under 9. A lot of people are in fight or flight mode. They're in survival mode if you had a bad childhood. So you're living now in a program that was created 20, 30, 40 years ago. This takes the sting away. You name the voice, you put the post-it notes. Every time you see a note, all you do is write down, because you're going to get the trail end of whatever is going on in your mind. You're going to get it. You don't judge. Here's the trick. Don't judge it. Don't try to figure out why you're thinking it. Don't get upset by it. You just write it down and go on. And you do that every time you see one of those for 7 days. That's it. It's all you got to do. And now you go back and you read it. And I promise you, it changes everything, because you're going to see it doesn't make any sense and it starts to lose its power on you. And that's really all it is. It's this step-by-step process to get your power back, because we're all tremendously powerful. I mean, we have infinite power. It's like we have this soul power. We just have no idea. We've blocked it up and we've done it. We can't blame our parents anymore. We can't blame society. We can't blame anyone else, because now we're adults and we have to figure this out for ourselves. What is going on up there?
I like that reprogramming thing. I came from a really bad place. So, as my healing journey, that was one of the things, figuring out what am I thinking or doing that is because of that and not for this new world. So reprogramming, I like that. I'm going to use this because we all do it, right? We're all walking around with all this program. Some are worse than others, right? Sometimes we get this programming that makes no sense. This is good for fear, right? This is something.
And another thing, we're all doing it, but we're all doing it completely differently. Yeah. That's why it's so hard for any two people to have this, because there are no two people that have the same experiences, it's just not possible. So what's happening is like everybody's going into reality, but they're not seeing reality. They're seeing reality through the lens of the past. That's what happens. It's like all the things you like. I like butterflies. I don't like snakes. I'm afraid of this. I don't like that. I like the taste of this and not that. When you start doing that, now you're creating a world where things have to be a certain way to make you happy, right? If things happen that you don't want, that's not going to make you happy. If you don't get what you want, that's not going to make you happy. You're creating a universe where you're trying to twist it to fit what you think is going to make you happy. I mean, how screwed up is that? But that's what every person is doing. They've got their own version of reality. I always tell people, it's like, I have a car, so I'm 49. I say I have a 49-year-old car, and I've never washed the car. Right? So I'm sitting in the driver's seat. I'm driving down the highway. I'm not looking at the road. I'm not seeing the true reality. I'm seeing the reality through lenses of gunk and garbage and all of the past. I'm looking through the window and I'm seeing it through that. That's what we do every day with our life. It's like if your mom was mean to you and she said a certain thing or played a certain song and you hear that, you go right back to that moment. All the fear comes back. All the feelings come back. Your girlfriend broke up with you, right? You had a bad breakup. She had drove a red Ford pickup truck. Now, every time you see a red Ford pickup truck, what happens? Not only do you think about it, you feel it. You get all the feeling. It's because you've connected that. We've connected this negative thought, this negative emotion, and we've kind of suppressed it. And now it pops up. And what do? We push it right back down. We spend our lives doing that. It's trying to get out. It's like it's energy trying to leave you. And you're like, no way. You push it right back down. It's like, let me out of here. It's like a river. Like everything's energy and it's supposed to flow. But it's like, we don't like things. So we go, you would think if you didn't like something, you would get rid of it. That's not what we do. It's like, I don't like this. I'm going to hold it inside me for the rest of my life with willpower. And every time anything reminds me of it, it's going to come back. All the feelings going to come back. It's going to upset me and I'm going to push it back down. That's our life.
And the funny part is that it takes so much more energy to do that than to let it.
God, can you imagine?
Get so in that. Yeah, I love it. So you talk about energy. That's something you believe in a lot. You believe in the power of energy. So do you believe that the reality that we see or the reality we experience, you have some control of it, over it?
Of course. I mean, now a lot of people talk about the law of attraction. They talk about things like that. Now, those things, you can use them, but to try to get everything you want is the wrong way to go about this, because what you're doing is playing right into the idea that I'm only happy when I get this, when I get that. So you're trying to get certain things. Why do you want these things? It's like I tell people, what do you want? And somebody says, I want $10 million. And I say, okay, I'm going to give you $10 million in cash tomorrow. I'm going to drop you and $10 million in cash on a deserted island in the middle of nowhere, and you two are going to be there. Do you still want the money? No, because it's not the money that you want. It's the feeling the money's going to give you, the way the girls are going to look at you. It's how you think it's going to change you. So what you're doing is you're twisting everything to try to fit your very narrow idea of what you need to be happy. So it's terrifying, but we're all doing it. Like every single person is doing it. And of course, everybody's wants and needs and likes and dislikes are completely different. So nobody is seeing reality, but you are affecting it. Most of the time, people are affecting it in the wrong way because they're bringing about negativity. I have an aunt who is so negative. This woman, everything she does, she gets in, she goes to the car wash, the window comes down somehow and the car fills with soap. It's like, who does that happen to? Her, because her whole life is like that. She brings about it. When you live in negativity like that, everybody's out to get me. God hates me. My life sucks. Guess what? You're going to get more and more and more of that. It's all you're going to see. It's all you're going to feel. You know, feeling is what's doing it. I mean, the secret behind the secret and law of attraction, it's the getting in the feeling of being that person, having those things. But it's not there to get everything you want in life. Like, it's not like a JCPenney catalog from the old days where you get in there and you just pick out all the things you want. You have to start making changes and you don't just wish and then there's a Ferrari outside. I want a Ferrari and then it's in your driveway. That's not what's going on. You're manifesting what you are, not what you want, because what you want means I don't have it. But the more energy you put into not having something, the more you're not going to have it. You've got to manifest what you are. Most of us aren't doing it because we're pretending to be something else or we're wanting something else so strongly that we're overriding anything that's coming to us. So you definitely can alter, especially it's your reality, of course you can. But what happens is you start to change. The people around you get inspired. This is how we change the world, not by force, not by war, not by anything outside of us. It's like you change. And then people around you, your family, your friends, they'll inspire themselves by your story. They'll change. Their friends will change. And slowly, that's how we make a difference. Because if you just do the war thing, whoever has the most nukes is going to win.
Yeah, always win.
Whoever has the biggest army is going to win. That's not what it is. You have to go within yourself. It's like the kingdom is within you. I mean, from the Bible to every religious text, it's talking about your inner power. The fact that you have to go in. Everybody's looking on the outside. It's like, when I get this girl, I'm going to finally be happy. When I get $1 million, I'll be happy. When I get the new car, the house, the kids, the smaller butt, whatever it is. And then what happens? You finally get that thing. And how long are you happy before you want the next thing?
It just doesn't work.
You know it doesn't work because you know how you know? You've been doing it we've been doing it our whole lives. And it's never worked. So what you do is you start to realize, I don't need these things to make me happy. What if I make myself happy? Because happiness is an inner thing, right? It's not something you can find out there. The outer world is like people, places, houses, cars, things, right? The inner world is all the stuff that matters. It's love, right? Compassion, creativity, courage. Those are inner things. If I said, go find me a pound of love, go buy it for me in the outer world, you can't do it.
Look.
Yeah, you might rent it for a night, but you're not going to buy it. So
don't be fooled. It's leaving soon.
Those are inner things. And nobody wants the inner. They think the outer is what matters because it's where the mansions, the cars, and the money is. That's not the case. If you fix the inner, everything changes.
What do you think it is that makes it? I agree with you, like completely 100%. But what do you think it is that makes people so scared of doing it, like the way you're saying it from within? What stops?
Well, I think what stops us is we don't know. You can't expect your parents to have told you if they don't know. You can't expect your teachers to teach it if they don't know. I had a teacher in school who used to say, you need to learn to focus. And finally, one day I was like, when did we learn that? Because I must have been sick that day. I don't remember learning how to focus. And she admitted she didn't really know either. They say words like that. They're great words. Focus. But how do you focus? How do you do this, right? Once you start going in, spending some time with yourself, getting off your cell phone, stopping scrolling through TikTok all day long. That's what everybody does now. We have an attention span of 7 seconds. In 1989, it was 7 minutes. Now it's 7 seconds. That's why everything is made to like you're scrolling. It's bright colors and it's made to stop you. You only got 7 seconds to get somebody's attention. So we've taken this inner temple and we have left it for all this outer crap. And we never spend any time with ourselves. And it's like, you have to spend a few minutes every day. The next thing I'll tell you, after the A, after you become aware, you know what the voice is saying. You wrote down what's on your mind when you see the Post-it notes, right? The B is belief. And what's powerful about belief, and the way this was created, I've met a lot of people. I've worked with all these different things and processes, and I found what worked for me and what I started teaching people. So everything that I teach, I know it's worked for me and has worked for thousands of people that I teach it to. But again, it's not a system you have to buy. This is something you have to do yourself. It's free. You have everything you need inside you. How many people say that? But nobody will do it because it's frightening, first of all, to want to sit there and let your mind talk, because your mind is like a torturer. I mean, it tortures most people. It just scares the hell out of people. So the belief starts to come automatically. What's great about this ABC concept is once you start becoming aware of the voice, you're realizing what it's saying. The power is now being taken away from it. It's no longer this, immortal thing that you've got inside you. The belief starts to come back. If you had dreams and you put them away, that belief starts to come back. You start to realize, I don't care how old you are watching this, if you are 10 or 50 or 100, any age, any weight, any color, any place in the world, any sex, it doesn't matter, because it's you. You don't have to try to fit into any system out there. You've got to work on the system you've got going on in here. So it's just you. That's all you got to worry about. So the belief starts to come back. It's one of those things. If you don't have self-belief, you don't have anything, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. And people that walk in a room and they're magnetic, and they're not always the most attractive person. There's something about them because there's this self-belief. It's very attractive because nobody has that, right? But we know people, and I'm sure you know people like this, right? Who have a ton of self-confidence and very little talent, right? Those people, more often than not, will be way more successful than the very talented person with no self-confidence, because without the self-confidence, it's just not going to happen. You don't believe it. And if you don't believe it, it's never going to happen. I mean, the big thing again is the feeling. You've got to start feeling, I deserve this. I can have this. This isn't just for other, not, oh, poor me, I'm never going to get the things I want. That is just, you're just pushing everything away from yourself. So the belief starts to happen automatically. And then finally, the C is connection. Now, we're all connected to each other, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I'll tell you, I went to a meditation retreat 15 years ago in Nepal, and I went for 2 weeks. Woo! And
that sounds fun.
The monk there, he goes, what do you do? And I said, I'm a mentalist. What does that mean? I said, oh, I pretend to read minds. He said, think of any word in the English language. Think of it. He didn't say write it down. Think of it. So I did. He said lumberjack. That was the word. Okay. Blew my mind. He was doing for real what I was pretending to do my whole career. And he explained to me, universal consciousness, we're all connected to it. And when you meditate and you get into that, there is no impossibility, because all of the consciousness are connected together. The problem is we have our own individual consciousness, and we have it so full of like this, I don't like that. You can't connect to it because it's like an episode of Hoarders. You've thrown all this stuff you don't like inside you, and all the stuff that disturbs you, and then you wonder why you're disturbed, because you've got all the stuff inside. Yeah. It's blocking your connection. So when that happened to me, that was like my big moment.
These dudes and dudettes are connected for real, huh?
12 hours a day. They meditate 12 hours a day. But so again, the C's connection, and I mean, we're all connected. That's not what I'm talking about. There's this idea, we're all separate. I got to get mine, or somebody's going to take it from me. The people in charge love that. They love to pit everyone against each other. Cool. It's so much easier to divide everyone when we're all separated like that. So first of all, when I say connection, we have to know that we're all connected. We're brothers and sisters. Everything is one. It's not it's not separation, but I'm talking about the connection you have with yourself, because that's what we've lost over time. We've lost this ability to go in a room, sit down in the silence, and concentrate on ourselves, not on the cell phone, not on music, the TV, Netflix, the dog, anything else. If you can take 5 minutes twice a day to sit, meditate, chant, prayer, whatever you want to do, you've got to connect to yourself. So what I teach, very easy. Sit in a straight back chair with your spine straight, hands on your knees, feet flat on the floor. All you do, close your eyes. You breathe in and out, a couple of really deep breaths. And now set your clock for 5 minutes. And all you're going to do is count 1 to 20 over and over again. This is the greatest meditation technique you can learn. I'm telling you, and I've tried many of them, from transcendental meditation. I mean, I haven't been involved in so many things, but this works so well because if you're counting silently, so here's what's going to look like. You sit with your eyes closed, you breathe in, breathe out. And then in your head, again, silently, I'll do it for you out loud so you know, but it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why am I doing this? My ass is sore. I don't even know if this is going to work, right? That's what's going to happen. As soon as that happens, you go 1, 2. You go immediately back to 1. There's no, what number was I on? Why am I thinking that? You go back to 1, okay? If you get to 67 and you realize it, you go back to 1. There's no judgment. There's no anger. There's no nothing. And what it's doing, this stupid, silly little exercise here, it is creating unbelievable, unstoppable focus. It is the way you work on your focus. This is it. It's got to be an inner thing. So every time your mind goes to something else and you pull your focus back to 1, it's like strengthening a muscle. This focus becomes so powerful, it seeps out into your life, and it just does. It will come out into your daily life. You'll start to realize things that bother me don't bother me as much. You'll start to realize, wow, the person said something to me that really PO'd me last week. I didn't even think about it. Those things happen automatically. It's like, you don't have to go to a therapist. When people tell me all these problems, first of all, I say, I'm the wrong person to tell me your problems do, because I'm going to tell you, to get control of it doesn't matter what happened to you, right? I don't need to hear about what mommy did 40 years ago. Mommy's dead now. We need to talk about why you're still living in that today. Why are you still going through it today? That's what we need to talk about. So when you connect to yourself and you count like that, your focus constantly pulls back. And I'm telling you, the first week, you could, in 5 minutes, pull your focus back 150 times or more. That's great. It doesn't matter how much you do it. The more, the better, because every time you do it, it's strengthening that muscle. And then what'll happen, I promise you, something will happen in your life. You'll have somebody that really just knows how to turn your buttons or push your buttons, right?
They know how to get to you.
They'll come up to you and they'll say something that normally would have sucked you into this vortex of negativity. You would have been arguing. What happens because of meditation is everything seems to slow down. And now there's all of a sudden a couple of seconds you never had before where, you're in this amazing position. You're in a power position, because normally they say something and they pull you in and you're on the back foot. You're responding to them, right? This creates this power position. Time slows down. It seems like they call it the zone. Things move kind of in slow motion. Now you've got 3 or 4 seconds you never really saw before. All you got to do is ask yourself, all you need is enough time to go, is this worth my peace? Guess what? 99.999999% of the time, it's not.
No.
It's not. And so these little things will fall away. And like I said, you go to a therapist, it's like you don't feel better when you leave. You feel like crap. You've just dredged up all this crap from your past. You go home, you feel like crap. The next day, you feel like crap. And then next week, you're going to go back and do it all over again. This way, when you meditate, when you connect to yourself, you connect to universal consciousness, you connect to the unified field where everything is, you work things out in the background. Things will leave you. You won't even realize it. I've cried. Over these emotional things. I don't even know what's happening a lot of time, which is great. Why know? You don't have to know. You just realize a month later, something happens that should have brought up something from your past, and all of a sudden it's not there anymore because it's moving out of you with meditation. Nobody sits anymore by themselves. They're so afraid of the voice talking. They're so afraid of not having, their cell phone to doom scroll on. Right? If you do those 3 things, you become aware of the voice. What is it saying? You then start to create belief, and then you make that connection. Those 3 things in that order will change your life. And again, nothing to buy, nowhere to go. You have it. The idea is, are you going to use it? Because us talking about it today isn't going to do it. You've got to do it, because you're only going to see it if you do it.
I really think the hardest one is belief. That was the hardest one for me. The belief, not only in myself, but belief in the possibilities, belief in what could be done. Where I came from a place where belief that doesn't exist, right? So when that programming, and that's what I thought. I thought things were very, very impossible. Everything was impossible. So breaking through that and starting to believe in things, I think it's one, well, at least for me, is one of the most important things. So how do you start believing in the things that programming tells you not to believe in? How do you take like action and start doing it?
Well, the great thing is, in this order, the belief, starts to happen automatically, because telling somebody who doesn't believe in themselves to all of a sudden try to believe in yourself is impossible. I mean, and it does seem like just a daunting task that they can't do to them. But if you become aware of the programming and you realize it's such BS, it's crap from the past, it's a voice that's telling you things that are no longer relevant to your life, it's talking about people that are no longer alive, it's talking about your ex from 5 years ago, you will start to see this, how much of your life is caught up in all of this soap opera BS that makes no difference to anything. The belief comes back. That's what's great. You don't have to say, start believing in yourself. You will start to believe in yourself, because you will see this is all just a big illusion. What I worry about, what I think matters, it's like we're all doing it, but what we worry about, it's like, again, you're on a rock in outer space and you're living on a place, there's nothing
Literally.
for millions of miles anywhere. You're in the one place that's like God's Disneyland. He's given you everything here you could possibly want. Be a firefighter, be an astronaut, be whatever you want to be, right? And you're complaining that it's too hot, or that it's raining on your day off, or whatever it is. Mary said this, or she might have said this. And that's what we do with this limited time we have here. A great trick is to just look at the big picture. It's like, I was on a cruise. I did London to Miami 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing another one on the 9th. But we were in the Caribbean, and they had a drill that was outside. Now it's like 100 degrees. I'm a big dude. I'm sitting there, I'm sweating, right? I start to think, my God, what am I doing out here? The voice starts, and it's very rare for my voice to start anymore. So it starts, I caught it right away. But what you can do is you just bring some logic to this situation. It's like, I'm hot. First of all, why are you hot? Well, because I'm fat and I need to lose some weight. Why else are you hot? Well, the sun is hot. Okay. Why is the sun hot? The sun is 93 million miles away. Okay. It's 93 million miles away. It is so hot that I can feel the heat, and it's a star. The sun is not a planet. It's a star. I'm literally getting star burned right now. Right. That's a miracle. It's amazing. But see, that little shift in the way you think about things. I'm hot. Why am I out here? I'm standing on a planet in outer space, and there's a burning star 93 million miles away. I mean, think about it. That is so hot, I feel the heat. That is a miracle. Again, little thing like that, but it changes your perception of what's going on. Instead of, why am I out here? This is miserable. It's like, this is amazing. I'm on a planet where there's everything I could want.
So changing that mindset.
And it happens.
These
things happen automatically.
It's very difficult for some people. I'm telling you, it was very difficult for me. So yeah, it is difficult. So now let me ask you a question about yourself, right? So like you said it a few times, you're not here to sell anything or to get it. So my question is, what is it so important for you to show others this? What in your life has made it so important to make sure that others get these ideas and start living life differently?
Well, it's been around forever. I mean, it's in every religion. It's in every it's just nobody does it. Okay. But for me, I had cancer 20 years ago. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was drinking a bottle of vodka a day. I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I was, I made a lot of money. I was blowing money, because I thought money was going to make me happy. It didn't make me happy. Everything I have accomplished, though, and I became a vegetarian. I lost about 60 pounds so far. I'm still losing, obviously, but I was like 330 when I started this. And for me, in a Midwest boy, to become a vegetarian, that's a miracle in itself, right? But I quit drinking, I quit smoking, and I didn't have to do anything. I swear to you, I had no willpower when I was first starting out. So for me to sit here and say, oh, I did this, and man, it wasn't difficult. Just once I did these things, they fell away. I didn't desire smoking anymore. I can't even think about drinking. Just the idea of vodka makes me physically sick, because everything we face is a mind thing.
I stopped drinking too. Sorry about that. No.
Right. But I mean, it's how it is. It's like we do all these things because we think either it's going to make us happy, it's going to make us popular, it's going to give us something, it's going to mask something. It's going to hide, for a couple hours, I'm not going to feel this because I'm going to be drunk or whatever it is. When you spend your whole life doing that, at a certain point, you have to go, do I want to live the rest of I don't care how old you are. Like I said, do I want to live the rest of my life this way? Or do I want to live a real life where I'm in control, where the past isn't controlling my future? And we spend 40% of the day in the past, 40% of the day in the future. Think about it. 20% of the time in this moment. It's like, this is the only moment that matters, because it's the only moment you can do it. Like, being in the past is useless. It's over. You can't change it, and you're worried about it. You wish you hadn't done this. that's waste. And if you're in the future worried about all these things you think are going to happen, that's a waste too. Because it's like when the future will happen, it'll be in this moment. When the past was happening, it was in, this is it. But nobody gets it, that this is the moment, not the future, not the past. It's right now. But it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll start this on Monday.
Get it tomorrow. In a few minutes.
Oh man, yeah, you got it.
So okay, so cancer. So how long have you been good to go? Was that a long time ago? The cancer.
It's been over 20, so it's maybe like 23, 24. But I'll tell you, I was alone at the time. Family was out of town, and so I went in. I was performing. They took me to the hospital, and I had a hemoglobin level of like 3, which a man should be 20. So they were like, I don't even know how you could be standing up. They started running tests, and they said, okay, there's 4 or 5 things this could be. And one of them was lymphoma. And I looked up lymphoma that night when I went home. I had every symptom. I had the night sweat. I had all of them. So I was like, I know I've got this, right? And at first, of course, you're like, oh my God, I've got cancer. What am I going to do? But as soon as you kick into the idea that the way you look at this makes a big difference. The way, when somebody tells you, you see a lot of people, they go to a doctor, they have stage 4 cancer or something. The doctor says, you have 6 months, and they very often live right in that window of time, and they die right in that window. Because if you believe that, I mean, really,
it's going to happen.
Disease of the body, dis-ease is like not at ease. We do this to ourselves, like we stress over everything. We have anxiety. Like we live in a constant state of like fight or flight. Back in the day, you walked out of your cave and there's a lion there. It's like, okay, am I going to fight? Am I going to run? What am I going to do? Now it's like you go to the office and you're worried about Mary looking at you, and you got the same fight or flight emotion. We live in it. So we're creating such stress, strokes, and heart attacks because we do it to ourselves. It's like we're bringing this about. Life's pretty cool. I mean, it's unfolding. It's happening.
Very cool.
Billions of years. Cool. It's like this has been going on for billions of years, right? And you want to get in the middle of it and say, I don't like it. Stop. I don't like this. Seriously, go with life. Let life kind of take you instead of you fighting it. Like, I want this. I don't want that. You're putting yourself in a very bad position. It's like life knows what it's doing. It's like all your life you've been paddling the rowboat, the water's coming up, you don't know what you're doing, and you realize I've been paddling the wrong direction. You toss the oars in the water and you just let the boat take you. It's like you've been fighting your whole life to go the other way, and it makes it so difficult. So this is not hard. It is, if you do it in steps, like I said, you start from the awareness, you start moving through. You don't have to worry about anything. Don't worry about
how about the time? Like, how long do you think if somebody like today, they're going to turn their lives around, they use this method or some of this method, what do you think time-wise? What can you tell them? I'm not talking about tomorrow. It's going to take years, months for them to start seeing an impact.
Yeah, I can tell you this. If you do it, everybody's different time-wise because it depends. Some people do a little more time. I do 45 minutes twice a day. And I promise you, I do it. And I have a very busy schedule all over the world, but I will do it no matter what I have to do. If I have to get up at 1 a.m. to make an airplane, I will do it because it's really a life-changing thing. The amount of time, though, what's cool about it, you will start to see things that will be proof. Now, and a lot of religion, now this is not religion, but again, a lot of religions, it's about faith, and you have to believe it, and you have to, maybe you're not going to see it. You just have to believe it. With this, you're going to see it. You're going to feel it. And I call it rocket fuel because it's going to all of a sudden give you this rocket fuel to go to the next, because you're going to see it. This is, wow, I felt it. I feel it. It's working. You know what I mean? And that, for most people, it's like you try something, but how often do you get the results with things with your mind, with, changing your life before you drop out? This way, you see some improvement, you see some things change. It makes you want to keep going. So if you do what I said for a week, do the Post-it notes, name the voice. I talk to the voice. If I hear the voice, I call it Carl today, and I've been doing that for 15 years.
Wait, but you don't do it out loud, though.
Right? No. It's just inside.
Imagine.
Yeah. But you know what? A schizophrenic is somebody who is just saying all the stuff in their head that we hear. Think about it. Somebody who's like
saying it out loud.
Right. They're saying exactly what's going on in most of our heads. They're just saying it out loud. So yeah, I still use that, but you only need a week of writing it, and you will start to see, if you start to meditate, you will see things quick. Little things. I mean, don't expect to see, Jesus appear in your mind right away. Don't expect to hear bells and see lights. You'll see things. You really will start to make these changes. But if you go in expecting a certain thing, so the first thing I say when I sit down is I release all expectations from this I'm not expecting anything. Whatever happens, happens. Again, it's like you take your will away from trying to force things, which is what we all do. It's got to be the way I want it, or it can't be the way I don't want it. You take that away and just let things be. And if it's something you don't like, then you react to it. But you can't say you don't. This is reality. It's like, I don't like it. Well, it's reality. You've got to accept it and now change it. But don't try to fight it for the fact that it's here. It's like you can't change that until you accept that it's really happening. And then you make that change. So I would say a couple of weeks, you'll get a couple of signs. The more you do it, the more you throw yourself into it, you're going to go to a place where, and if you're there for a second, I promise you, you'll never stop doing it, because you're going to go to a place where bliss and joy and all those things and peace are happening all the time. And the first time it happened to me, it was for literally 2 seconds, but it's like an addict, because I felt something I've never felt in my entire life. You just want to get back there. So once that happens, it's rocket fuel for the soul, because you're going to keep doing it, because you're going to see the changes in your life. And they're miraculous. People write me all the time. I mean, 5 minutes a day, twice a day. I don't care where you are, what you do. Everybody can find 5 minutes.
And I think you're right. You'll start seeing it immediately. I think anytime you are actively working on yourself and having an open mind and believing in something, it's like the mind, it's an immediate shift. I think, I forgot his name, but he said, if you believe it will work, you will see all the opportunities. If you don't believe it, you'll see all the barriers. Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I live by that, because it's so. Let me ask you this. This is the all off thing. So ships. So you do the events on ships. Yo, how is it like traveling all day in those ships? What ship? If you don't mind us, I know you don't have to tell us the company, but like what type? What is it? One of those big ones, like the Carnivals and.
Now, I've never worked for Carnival, but I work for Norwegian a lot. I work for Princess, Crystal, all the big lines. So I do the big ships, the 4,000 or 5,000 passenger ships. So I just did a 14-day cruise. I did
that's cool as hell.
2 nights in the theater. So I literally worked 90 minutes twice, and I did a seminar. So I'm there for 14 days, amazing pay. I'm going around the world, and I am working literally about 3 hours total in 14 days, because the way it's spread out, and the rest of the time I'm a passenger. But what I do, I take it as a working vacation. So in other words, I take my laptops. The internet is so powerful in ships now, I can literally run my business from the cruise ship, which is incredible, because it used to be you couldn't even make a phone call out there. Now they have Starlink. It's like you can do anything. Yeah, I've been doing it for years. I don't do as many. I do like maybe one a month, because it's kind of, after a while, it gets to be, oh my God, where am I?
Yeah, it's not the same as me doing it one time. Right. It becomes a normal thing for you. So anything ever happen while you were on these ships? Because a lot of stuff is happening with these ships now, right? Have you ever had a scary situation or a situation where you're like, oh no, and then you had to be like, I'm a mentalist, concentrate?
I had once years ago, I had a guy who was dead in the audience, an older guy. Now, they think he had died during the day and was just sitting there. I don't know if he died during the show, but that's the last time people used to joke, like all entertainers will say, if somebody's sleeping, they'll make a joke about the sleeping person.
Yeah.
When the person turns out to be dead, you're not going to make that joke again. So I had that happen. I've had a lady fall off the stage drunk once that was in Vegas. I mean, I've been doing it 30 years.
You're killing them, huh?
Stuff happens
out here.
You just have to go into it. Like, I love what I do. I love
fun. I imagine
teaching people. I don't do shows unless I can do seminars. So I'll do my show, and then I'll say, hey, come see the seminar. I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you about your mind. Because that's really, I'm telling you, that's really all that matters. It's really how we change things, is by this, nothing to buy, nowhere to go, do it yourself. But you've got to put a little effort into this. We can change everything. We're in such a weird place right now. Everything is so crazy and scary. It's like, change yourself. Everything else will start to change when you change yourself.
And touching on your point, things are scary, but I also feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of opportunity right now. Like I believe that in the bad, that's where all the good is like stuffed into there somewhere. I don't know. I see a lot of opportunities in this bad. And I think we're discovering ourselves as humans, and we're going to find out like you said, how connected we really are. We're starting to learn these things, so I love it. I love what you're preaching. I love what you're showing people. I mean, I do believe in therapy. I used it for me, but I believe in this too. I believe in using all of these things as weapons for your self-development, because it's important. And once you reach that, man, you feel like you're living a dream every day, and
you can't go back.
Yeah,
That's what's great. When you
No
reach
matter
a
how-
certain point, it's like you fall off of a
Yeah.
ledge and it's over. You can't go back to the way you were before.
Yeah. So how do people get these teachings from you? How do they get it from you? If somebody's listening, they're like, I want to get that. What do they do?
Just my website is brentwebb.com, BRENTWEBB.com. But there's links there. I have a YouTube channel, thousands of videos. Everything's free. You know, there's lots of stuff. You don't have to buy anything from me. Like I said, I do, you know, my career is one thing, and then I'm doing this just to get this message out that people to understand how powerful you are. You literally have the power of the universe. We're all, you know, connected, and we're created by this amazing power, and we just don't know how to use it. So it's like wherever you're watching this from, don't think it's over for you. No matter where you are in life, you can make the changes you want to make, and it's only you can do it. You can't wait for the right time, the right person, because you are the right person, and now's the right time.
I like that. I love that. Yeah, people get so mixed up with the age. I'm too old for this,
Yep.
or I'm too young for this. None of that is true, man. None of that is true. If you take it like what you're saying, take control, get your tools, go look at his videos, because obviously they're doing something. I want to see you on a ship though, but I'm scared that you like kill me because you're killing people out there. But I'm only playing. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And I love anyone that's giving out tools, anyone that's telling people how they can reach it, because yeah, we are powerful, man. We have the possibilities to do whatever it is we want to do. So thank you for doing that. Anything else you want to share with us before we? No.
I know. I just want, well, this was great, by the way. I mean, this was fantastic. You were, you know, I love it when you can just have an organic conversation. I just want people to know that it doesn't matter where you are. None of that matters. And you have tremendous abilities beyond what you think's possible. You don't even understand. We use 7% of our brain. Think about what it's like. People know. It's like, you know what you know, right? And you know what you don't know. Like, I know I don't know how to water ski, but I know that, right? But then there's the things that you have no idea that are out there. Like, they're not even on your plane of existence. Your consciousness starts to expand, and these things start to make more and more sense. Things that you may watch a video of me, you know, and then a year from now may watch the same video and it may change your life, because now you're in the place where you understand what I'm saying. You weren't ready a year ago, you're ready. So you got to start, you know, spending some time every day on yourself, on empowering yourself. You know, it's like we give everybody else second, third, fourth chances, right? 300 chances. Now it's like, give yourself another chance, because you definitely deserve it.
You say you start making an impact all around you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I am so happy that you came on. I love your message. Keep doing what you're and empowering the world. Thank you,
Thank
for
you, my
joining.
friend.
Okay.
Thanks.
Repeat after me. I am powerful.